Welcome, gathered friends, and thank you for joining us once again as we light the lantern and begin another adventure. Tonight we will be playing Era of the Dragons, our D&D homebrew game. My name is Archangelic, or Mal, and my pronouns are she, her, and tonight I will be your game master. So let's go ahead and introduce our players. Silver. Oh, yep.
There we go. Sorry, couldn't find my unmute button. Hi, everybody. I am Silver_Bulette here on Twitch as well as over on YouTube. I use he, they pronouns, or at least for the next 4 years, I'm using she, they pronouns because take that. But also, I'm going to be playing Fenxiris Roxalar, and she uses she, her pronouns. She's a dragonborn rogue, also dabbling in cleric because why not?
Why not indeed? Levi.
Hello, I am Levi. I use they, he pronouns, and today I shall be playing Torsten Pinewalker, the half-elf armor artificer who uses he, they pronouns. Is our artificer all the way.
Awesome. Jaden.
Welcome back, friends. It's been so long. I'm so sorry we were out for the month of April. I was having the absolute worst allergies of my entire life, but I'm much better now. If you don't know me, my name is Siliqui or Jaden. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me most places online as FatSapphicBro. I play the tiefling barbarian named Grief. Grief uses he, they pronouns and also uses a combat wheelchair. I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user, and so I like to use a combat chair in game. The combat wheelchair is designed by Mark Thompson, who you can find on Twitter at the username Mustangs Art, and the info is linked in the chat. Welcome back to our space here at Lantern Light Adventures. This is home to all of our TTRPG and related content on Twitch. All of our games are also uploaded to our Lantern Light Adventures YouTube channel. There is a link to our link tree in the chat. You can click on that. It'll take you to all of our various social media pages so you can follow us everywhere we are. If you want to keep up to date on everything we're doing, feel free to also join our Discord, which is also linked in the chat. Thanks for joining us for Era of the Dragons. This is our D&D 5e actual play set in Mal's homebrew world. We stream this game most Sundays from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. PST. As for where you can find us the rest of the week, most Mondays from 6 to 9 p.m. PST, we stream It Waits for No One, a modern fantasy tale. This is our Monte Cook Games Cypher System actual play. We built the world collaboratively using, I'm sorry, did you say street magic? And that world building session is available as a Patreon exclusive and can be unlocked at any paid tier, and our paid tiers start at $1, so check that out if you're interested. Starting this week, on most Tuesdays, we will be streaming Appetites, our new Monster Hearts 2 actual play, from 6 to 9 p.m. PST. And this game is going to be dark, sexy, and steamy. It will contain a lot of content around the themes of horror, gore, sex, sexuality, and romance. It follows a group of monsters running a fine dining restaurant. Think The Bear meets The Menu meets Teen Wolf / Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We are super stoked to start this campaign off this Tuesday, May 6th, 6 to 9 p.m. PST. Hope to see you there. We also record an audiocast after show for some of our games where we go over any necessary advancement steps, debrief from the games, and go over our starts and wishes for the session. You can listen to these for free on our Patreon at patreon.com/lanternlightadventures. All of these after shows will always be free, but we appreciate any contributions and support as it helps us continue to bring you awesome queer content. Speaking of Patreon, we've updated our Patreon. And we now have 6 different sliding scale tiers starting at $1. And we also have one special tier that unlocks a private monthly game with myself and GM'd by our lovely Archangelic. So please check that out if you're interested. Just as a reminder, each month we take the last 7 days of the month off so that we can edit and prepare more content for y'all, as well as have a bit of a break to handle our day-to-day responsibilities. And finally, in support of a free Palestine, we are still sharing the GoFundMe's for various families. The first family we're still working to help out is the Masood family. Dahlia and her husband Rami and their 4 children are still in great need. Dahlia and Rami worked as pharmacists, but have since lost their home and their pharmacy. Their goal is currently set at 50,000 euros, and they're still at 39,574 euros as of this afternoon. Any help and support you can offer would be amazing. Their GoFundMe is linked in the chat and is on our link tree. Thanks so much, friends.
Thank you so much for those announcements. And before we get too far, today is Siliqui's birthday. So everyone wish them a happy birthday.
Thank you. I entered the final years of my 30s. I am now 39. Woo.
Amazing. Oh, yeah. Without further ado, let's get into this. So previously, our heroes, unwilling to be taken back to Versailles under the forceful custody of the Voston Navy, hatched a plan to escape the northern reach city of Iceport under cover of night. They boarded the Call of Destiny with Awitdir, the custodian of Northern Reach, and set sail in the darkness. It was not long before they realized their ruse was not good enough to evade capture, and the capital ship, the Sword of the North, crested from under the waves, armed to the teeth with cannons and mages. The Call of Destiny was boarded by the first mate of the ship, Lieutenant Commander Myantha Zanellis. As you fought to keep control of your vessel, a storm formed overhead, and a gargantuan figure assaulted the Voston ship as if from the clouds. But unfortunately, your ship eventually went under the waves. You washed up on an island with clear skies. Your ship nearly completely destroyed, but everyone alive, including Myantha. You confronted her, and she begrudgingly agreed to help, realizing that at the end of the day, you are all on the same side. Upon exploring the island briefly, you saw an older woman collecting shells. You spoke to her, and she revealed herself to be Azaria, and also a dragon. And that's her we pick up, I think. Myantha is with you as she is helping you kind of explore here. And this woman is kind of smiling at you. She's just collecting shells. And I think you saw slightly into her, the lair of this dragon, but didn't get to explore much closer than that. If I recall, Grief, you're with the rest of the stranded survivors here.
I had so after they had when I clocked them leaving, I followed, and when we left off, the three of us were standing together, and I think she waved at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talked to her for a moment, and she changed her eyes briefly to indicate her draconic nature.
So, can I guess that we have you to thank for why we are currently breathing? Is that accurate?
She says, that would be accurate, yes.
Well,
accuracy is important in these situations. I'm glad you're trying.
Thank you. We do appreciate it. Is it just us on the island, or are there? I noticed the civilization, but it kind of looked abandoned.
Yeah, it has been quite some time since people lived in those ruins. But you're welcome to them. This island can be your home.
If it's been a while, we can only assume that there's not a lot of people coming and going. It's mostly just having dawn.
Very few ships choose to sail as close to my island as you did. So no, not a lot of people coming and going. A lot of storms form around here.
Useful knowledge,
Yeah.
useful knowledge.
Interesting. I mean, a lot of storms form around here. Do you know what causes them, or is it just climate?
absolutely forces of nature.
All right. Fair enough. So you said the people haven't been living there for a while. Did you know them?
I knew them very well, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they thought I did. But they decided to leave.
Ah.
I hope you choose to stay. I wish I could have gotten the larger ship, though. That would have been quite a piece for my collection.
It is very impressive, I'll give it that. But speaking of that larger ship, it and ours were on business. So unfortunately, we do need to find a way to get ourselves off the island.
That's disappointing. Well, it's of course your right to try and get off the island. I would hope that this place is comfortable enough that you would want to stay. It can be a paradise here if you let it.
I imagine it would be just delightful. The thing is, I don't know how much you go into the outside world, but there's a group trying to do terrible things to the world, and we're trying to prevent that. I don't mean to imply that you're detached from the world. I don't know if you venture out beyond the island, but have you been hearing about a dragon cult?
No, I've not heard about a dragon cult. I like so you so astutely pointed out, I don't leave the island much.
Can I get a read on this lady to see how much she's actually like keeping behind the vest? Like,
Oh yeah,
how upfront she being here?
yeah. Please give me an insight check.
Not one of my good ones. That's a 9. I'll flash a genius that turn it into a 13.
A 13? I mean, she's not being completely forthright, but you don't know if she's lying necessarily. She's definitely holding things back. But given what you know about dragons, they hoard things physically and metaphysically.
Do we get the vibe that she is at fault for what happened to us to some capacity?
Oh, please give me an insight check.
Oh man, this is not my insight character. My whopping +1. 15.
15. She's responsible. You get the sense that she's responsible for you being here, yes. But you don't know she's responsible for the storm. You would have to probe a little bit more. But definitely she brought you here.
Interesting. Okay.
You mentioned that you wish you had gotten the bigger ship. Do you know, did it sink, or is it still out in the world?
The last I saw of it, it was being blown off course. And far and away, but your ship was in dire danger. I would be hesitant if the gods could even take down that ship, sink it to the bottom. Maybe a dragon, but I wasn't interested in sinking a ship today.
Well, and I mean, from what we saw of it, if you do sink the ship, it can come right back to the surface. So, there's that, I suppose.
Yes, isn't it quite interesting? It's amazing what the mortals are doing these days.
But getting back to my point, the reason I was asking about the Dragon Cult was specifically they seem to be trying to bring back Tiamat, and we thought that was a bad idea. I don't know what your stance is on that particular name, but
You can swear her skin turns bronze. This like a wave of like green patina like just shines over her for a moment, and she says, Tiamat must stay where she is.
Couldn't agree with you more.
yeah. So, like, boy howdy, we have had a few months of just non-stop nonsense, and I would love nothing more than to retire here. A few months of adventuring is way too much for me, but unfortunately, I think we have to give that up. But I mean, if I can come back here, that would be nice. This seems like a really great place. But we're kind of after weird world-saving things. Hard to wrap my head around it. Normally, I just dig up ancient civilizations. I don't worry about saving the current civilization, but here we are.
Well, there's much for you to explore here. The resources of my island are yours. If you manage to repair your ship, I will not stop you. I will be sad.
We understand. We did come here with some companions who may not be as interested in leaving the island, and we can check with them and let them know of the offer. But also they are entrepreneurs. They might, I mean, if anything, maybe they may be interested in using this as kind of a home port. I don't know if you'd be up for that.
Maybe. I do love ships. And seeing more ships would be delightful. Was that larger ship built for war?
Is my Antha with us?
My Antha is with you.
In that case, Fenxiris will not answer, but she will look over at my Antha.
My
Yep.
Antha says, not exactly for war, but it is a vessel capable of waging war on a grand scale, though no one stands to the glory of Vosna in regards to naval prowess.
How many cannons were on that thing? I did lose count. I was a bit busy.
My Antha says, we can broadside with 40 cannons at once. 80, we carry 100 cannons, though. Some are backups in case of an explosion.
The biggest eye roll, but not built for war specifically, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
she goes to defend the position, and then like Fen interrupts.
I mean, if you consider it seems to be a transport ship with a lot of guns. At least that was the interpretation I got from it.
Well, I don't see any. Myantha says, well, I don't hear any complaints from the people who are kept safe from pirates in the shipping lanes to Vrusea.
For sure, and I mean, obviously, you all proved that that thing has quite the capability of travel, but normally the mindset is you want smaller ships that can surprise pirates. Wouldn't you?
Why not have both? We have a ship that is capable of being incredibly fast when outfitted with a contingent of naval wizards, of course.
That's a fair
Seems like
point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if it works, it works. What? My antha. I don't mean to interrogate you or anything, but I'm just curious. Were prior to this ship, were pirates a big concern in that area?
Pirates are always a concern. Everyone. Open shipping lanes mean easy prey for anyone looking for to make a buck or two off of taking some cargo off of a small vessel that can't defend itself. We make sure that our presence is known and that they don't attack our shipping lanes. Now, if vessels go outside of the shipping lanes, of course, there's not much we can do about that. The dragon, the woman, she's just sitting there. She says, fascinating. I find naval warfare to be so interesting. Just would love to recreate a scale war out in this bay here.
So, we don't want to, take anything from the town that you want to stay there. So can you point us towards, supplies that you wouldn't mind us scrounging through? Because again, we don't want to look like thieves here. We're just looking to put the ship back together as best we can to get it back into sailing conditions. And we want to make sure we're doing it in a way where we don't take stuff you value.
Azaria, she gestures towards the cave that the bay flows into. You can hear the crashing of waves inside. She says, that is my lair, and it is off limits. The rest of the entirety of the island is at your disposal.
Well, wonderful.
Understood.
We Sorry,
You're
go ahead,
good.
Grief.
I just said understood.
Okay. We appreciate it. I'm gonna start looking for you said the people are gone. Are there any monsters or maybe small creatures, but dangerous nonetheless, we should be keeping an eye out for while we're trying to put back together the ship?
No, the people who were here before were good stewards of this island. Made sure that any dangerous monsters were handled. Set this island back in balance, and then abandoned it. This is the most peaceful place in the ocean.
does seem oddly calm here, considering the storm we went through to get here.
Yes. And there will be more storms. Today is a good day. But it's like this island calls storms to it. I don't fully understand it.
Interesting. Well, we appreciate your help. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna go take a look around. And Fenxiris is going to bow because she doesn't know exactly how to interact with this dragon otherwise. And then she's gonna head towards the town.
As you bow, when you come back up from the bow, she has like a conch from her bag and she just hands it to you.
Oh. Thank you.
She says, it's nice. I think there is actually still a conch inside it, so do be careful.
Of course, of course. And yeah, Fen is gonna head off to the town to start looking around for supplies, mainly wooden planks.
Yeah, Torsten will follow, seeing if they left behind any tools specifically, as we like harvest wood that's already here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think I would just follow and help move anything as needed and gather things up as well.
Mm-hmm. So, looking at the layout of this place, it's going to be quite a hike up to the ruins that you saw along the ridge of the volcano here. You could definitely take that trek, but it's going to be a while. It's probably going to take you most of the day to get up there, just based on how high up it is and the kind of dense terrain involved. But yeah, you're welcome to do that. Who all is going up there?
Fen is for sure.
Yeah, I'll go as well.
Okay.
How far are we from everybody else?
Y'all aren't far. I think y'all probably walked like 10-15 minutes away from them. So they're just on the this cove kind of stretches around, so the beach kind of like wraps around itself in this horseshoe. So like you can see them across the water, just barely.
And is Elric with us?
Elric did not walk with you here. He was helping out. So you'll if you want to get back, catch up with.
Well, and then also the woman who's with us, is she going to go with us or is she going to head back down?
You want to ask her?
Yeah. What about you? You coming with us or are you going back down?
I think I'm probably amongst the most experienced sailor here. Perhaps I should help start repairing the ship. See
Fantastic.
what we do have, see what we need to do, at least get this crew in order. I will, of course, defer to the captain of this good vessel. And
Fantastic.
she kind of gives a knowing look to you two, like that she will behave.
Favor, let them know. Point out her lair. Let the rest of the group know not to go over there. I don't want to piss her off.
Yeah. As you have been asking this and trying to figure out what's going on, the woman has walked directly into the water, and when she goes under, she does not come back up.
Dragon shit.
Dragon shit.
I mean, yeah, she'd probably do that away from her lair. Wait, that's not what you meant. I'm sorry.
Wrong shit.
Okay, Fen is gonna reach out to Crest real quick and say, as they're walking up towards the village, um, and say in Crest's head, "Hey, question: what supplies should we be looking for? We've seen a village, and it's a ways up, but we want to make sure we're grabbing the right supplies because it's going to be a trek."
Wood, sap to make pitch, nails. I don't know if you'll find nails. That might be harder.
Wood, sap to make pitch, nails. Any troubles with the sails, or are those fairly well intact?
Ooh, he says, unsure at this point. Still assessing. We have emergency sails that might work. We may be able to use them to patch what we have. They were in storage. They are safe.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for large bits of fabric just in case, but that's good to hear.
Also, large game. Building a ship is hungry work.
Solid point. We'll keep an eye out. Thanks, Crest.
All right. So we know what to look for.
Yeah, wood, sap to attach things, possibly nails if we can find some. Game. And then oh, and if they said that they think they have enough sail or emergency sail to patch things up, but we should probably keep an eye out for large chunks of sturdy fabric.
Be too careful on any front.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as you walk, you catch up with Elric and the rest of them. They've gotten the supplies out from where the tide will come in and wash it away, at least. Starting to set up some small shelter. Seems like you're going to be there a while. Deer is mostly leading in that regard, setting up shelters, and though he's not used to as warm of a climate, he does understand the basics. Elric says, everything on the island seems safe? Everything seem good?
Well, we met a lovely woman who's also a dragon. Point out to where her lair is. That's her lair over there, that way.
Of course, we end up on an island with the dragon.
Yeah, she seems pretty chill overall. Just she doesn't want us in her lair at all. She said the rest of the island, we're welcome to help ourselves. Don't go into her lair. So I think if we just don't make her mad, maybe we'll be okay.
Okay. She didn't outright try to kill you immediately? Okay, so we're at least
no,
okay
she
in
was
that regard.
Surprisingly very kind. I feel a little like a zoo animal. Oh, I don't know if we have zoos here. Well, anyway. She talked a lot about adding things to her collection, but she wasn't like hostile toward us. And she said that she wouldn't prevent us from leaving, but that she hopes we would stay. Honestly, if the world wasn't potentially ending, I'd consider just staying here. It's pretty nice. But for now, I guess we need to find some supplies, maybe see if we can hunt anything.
As you're speaking, a dark cloud bears over. Like you notice the sudden change in the light. The wind picks up off of the ocean. And you see above you, like, just a singular, like, dark cloud above you. And then crashing down from it, a gargantuan form into the water, spraying ocean water all around you. As Eastrid reaches up out of the water, wrings the water out of her hair, and shakes herself off.
Oh, sweet. Our new friend.
She said, "How did you get so far away?"
It was quite a journey.
We were chased down by a Vothan ship.
Yeah,
Things went sideways, and we were...
I know you were chased by a Vosnan ship. I took care of that. You were supposed to get away and keep your course, but I see you crashed your ship.
We tried. We tried our damnedest.
The ship, unfortunately, the waves went beyond our control, and while we tried to keep the ship above the waters, that didn't work out so hot. So even though you were a wonderful deterrent to the other ship, they didn't really do anything to us, but the waves just took her under as if the ship wasn't even built to be on the water in the first place.
Oh, she sits down in the water. It looks like she's making this beach seem like it's a kiddie pool there's just the scale of herself. What the water that comes up waist high is barely lapping onto her lap. And she says, she starts counting out loud in giant. And she says, "It seems like enough of you survived at least."
As far as we can tell, I think our crew all made it.
Yeah, I think we did pretty well for ourselves considering.
So you said we traveled pretty far, Eastrid. How far are we? We went unconscious when we went underwater.
You're about 100 miles off course from where I expected you.
Oof.
I've been searching everywhere.
There's a dragon that lives on this island, and she is very nice and saved us. I think that we would be dead if she didn't get us here.
Eastra stands up. She pulls the axe off of her back, and she says, she bellows, "There is no such thing as a good dragon."
Well, I highly disagree.
She's not an enemy to us. I would prefer that didn't change.
She has been, again, I truly think we would have died. I hit the water. It was very chaotic. The next thing I knew, I woke up here. I think we would have all drowned. Like our entire ship, our entire crew. And again, we have spoken with her. She has been very kind. She has said we are welcome to the island, stay away from her lair, which feels reasonable. Also, I mean, I'm kind of close with a little baby dragon. Dragons aren't inherently terrible. They're like anyone else.
Hey, Eastrid, remind me of the history of the war. Was it against all dragons, or was it specifically against the chromatic dragons?
The war was long before I was around. The primordial giants and the primordial dragons fought for millennia. Many of our forefathers were slain by dragons of all ilk. We agreed to leave this plane.
Okay.
We thought for a long time that the dragons also left. And this was left a neutral place, but the dragons are here.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you know, there's that obnoxious dragon cult that's trying to bring back the worst of the worst.
I'm aware of the modern history and the error of our understanding. Hence, I was trying to, maybe erroneously, rekindle a war between dragons and giants, but I'm here now. I'm fighting on your side. I'm stuck here for the time being until I can gather the magical supplies to get back home. And I figured I would help, because at least then I'm doing something.
We appreciate it greatly. We should. We were off to get supplies so we could hopefully patch up the ship and get it seaworthy again. But I think it's more important, Eastrid, that maybe we introduce you to the dragon that lives here. It's she's a bronze dragon. She's very friendly, but also I don't know what giants know about dragons, but all dragons tend to like hoarding things, and in this case, while she's very kind, this particular bronze dragon really loves ships. So she saved us, which was awesome. I also think she just kind of wanted the ship, but that said, she's okay with us leaving the island. She said she'd be sad about it, but she said she's okay with us leaving because she knows that the Dragon Cult's trying to raise Tiamat, and she did not like hearing that at all.
How old do you think this dragon is?
How old do we think this dragon is?
Is that an insight check? Is that a
Yeah, I'm like, what check is
nature
that?
check?
I have no idea.
Yeah, let's see. Give me Arcana, History, or Nature.
We haven't. No, I guess I'm gonna do it at disadvantage, whatever I'm doing, because we've only saw her in passing as a dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another 9 from Torsten. I don't a natural 1.
Woo!
The 16 for grief.
Well, which stat did you roll? Which skill?
Either Arcana or History. They're both a +6.
Okay.
So with disadvantage and my ridiculous history check, if you're okay with history, I rolled a 17.
A 17.
Amazing. You have to try really hard not to understand historical things.
Yes.
Yeah. And with with Finn's particular set of knowledge, I'll answer it this way, and Grief, you'll have like a subset of this. Given the size you saw under the water and the ease at which she was holding a humanoid form, you would say that she's at least an adult, but probably older than that. So we're talking a few centuries. At the very least, a few centuries old.
Yeah. So she knew. I'm going to point up at the buildings, the town that we were heading towards, and say she knew the people that used to live there. As you can probably tell, it's kind of in ruins at this point. And she said that the folks that used to live there left, but she talked about it as if that was a long time ago. And from what we saw, I'm guessing she's got a couple of centuries on us at least.
Then she likely already knows I'm here. If she has not made her presence known, she does not wish to. And I will not be an impolite guest, even in the home of a dragon.
Fair enough.
Well, just know if she does approach you that she has not harmed us, and in fact, whether intentional or not, we did get here safely. So.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, between the two of you, you saved our skins. I'm not gonna lie.
Really immensely grateful.
I wish I could be more helpful. Unfortunately, unless you are all able to ride on clouds, I don't think I can get you out of here. But maybe I can help you reconstruct your ship.
Oh, that would be absolutely fantastic. By the way, when Eastrid said that if only we could ride on clouds, I think Fen looked briefly over at Torsten, like, well, maybe Torsten could figure that. No, probably not.
What kind of snowshoe?
It's some kind of snowshoe. Okay.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah, she says she kind of her being a cloud giant, she kind of floats away from you towards the wreckage of the ship, and just almost with ease, like, takes the rest of, like, writes the ship in the sand and, like, moves the sand to hold it upright so that it's not in the waves deteriorating more. Your lizard folk crew have no idea what's going on. They are cowering in the tree line, like,
oh,
just
shit.
looking at this.
Whoop. Sending a quick message to Crest. Hey, we have a giant friend who's helping you out right now. I didn't know Eastrid would be showing up, but she helped us get away from that big ship. And she's helping y'all get the ship fixed up. Just a heads up on that.
She's so big she could eat us in one bite.
Yeah, it's so, but she wants to help us. And also, it just, I just, use kid gloves.
Like, there's a
like
very
we
big
hear
pause.
him not able to process that.
And, like, you can tell, like, he's made 2 or 3, like, cognitive leaps. He says, be gentle, like a weaver.
Yes, perfect.
children should not be treated as if they are cloth.
Ah, yes, that's difference of cultures. Yes. Sorry.
They must eat huge fish or die.
But yeah, we're gonna continue going to town trying to get those supplies, but we should be back hopefully by the end of the day. It's a bit of a journey.
Okay. You like from where you are, you can see that Crest and the rest, like Crest explains to them what's going on, and you see them come from behind the line, and he shouts, "Big lady, we can help."
We almost just killed our entire crew from heart attacks.
And yeah, Eastred kind of points them to places and ask them questions and things in common. But yeah, they begin to come to a consensus about what's going on. Elric says, "Oh, it's a big day for this little island."
Yeah. Couldn't imagine.
It's funny too. From here, it kind of just looks like maybe I was thinking about kid gloves because she kind of looks like a child playing with a toy boat.
Let's hope she didn't hear that.
Oh, I said that in your heads.
Oh.
Yeah,
Just in case.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like anything you don't want heard, overheard, is said in the head.
This way, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but you gather a little bit of supplies and you begin to journey into the jungle. And as you get into the denser parts of this forest and begin to get to the rocky incline that still has trees and is verdant, and make your way up, you do find that there are, although they're eroded and worn down by time, there are still footpaths through here. But you can no longer hear the water. And you begin to climb up. The footpaths give way to paved paths. And you begin to see the beginnings of this civilization. And that's where we're going to take a break. So, yeah, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes. We hope to see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. So, last we left off, our giant friend Eastred has joined you on the island. She is now helping the remnant of your crew repair the ship. She's at least like stabilizing the skeleton, the remains of the Call of Destiny, and helping with that. Her large stature being a massive boon in that department. The dragon is currently nowhere to be found, and you have set out on a journey to go to these ruins. Please give me a survival check. Whoever wants to lead that.
Let's see. Who wants to do that?
I was going to say, I mean, so I don't think I am, just because Fenxiris is a little distracted. I was going to actually ask about something, Mal.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned going into break that as we went through the jungle, eventually jungle gave way to pathway.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that pathway is overgrown?
Oh, yeah. I feel like this goes to your background ability, right? As an archaeologist. What does your background ability give you?
Oh, goodness. Looking up background ability. Where would that? Oh, wait. I'm looking in the wrong section. Ascertain its original purpose and determine its builders. Not really. It's like art. I can determine monetary values of art objects and figure out who the builders were.
Okay.
And ascertain original purposes. But mainly, I'm just trying to figure out because Fenxiris would know.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Thanks. Thanks, Torsten. Yes, owlbears. Definitely.
I also was going to say the owlbears.
Could be
Oh,
owlbears.
man.
Yeah.
Owlbear architecture strikes again.
The chances of it being owlbears is low, but never zero. Any rate, the main thought I was having is just the fact that, like, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how long ago these folks left. So if I can ascertain how much overgrowth there is on these paths, and if it's been recently tended, that might tell me a better idea of how long they left. Thus, why Fenxiris is not paying attention to the survival aspect of getting to the
Right.
town.
Yes. So as it gives way to paved roads, it has not been recently tended. It is slightly overgrown. But by your guesses, this is years of overgrowth, not decades.
Mm.
Or maybe a decade, but not, you're looking at it, you're like, you're not super up to date with the local fauna. You don't know what could have been like using these paths to graze and things like that. But you're thinking probably no more than 25 years.
Okay. So it hasn't been as long as I was giving it credit for. Which actually, I think, gives Fenxiris some more hope that they might find useful supplies and not just rotted supplies.
Yeah.
I can make the survival check if no one else is aiming for it.
Yeah, I was trying to look up Elric's.
I've got a +5 to my survival.
Oh yeah, you should probably do that then.
I do have a +6 if that matters.
Yeah, I'm like,
okay.
like totally.
I seem to recall one of the two of us had a tied 6.
It's a 19.
A 19. Yeah, it is easy to find this path. You did not spend overall the journey only takes you probably about 3 hours to get to the foot of the mountain, which is you're making excellent time. So yeah, but you see that this paved path loops back on itself up and down the mountain. I forgot what that's called, but yeah, switchbacks up this mountain. And with the amount of overgrowth, it was a little hard to see from the beach, but now you can see clearly the amount of work that was done to make this a traversable path up to the ruins above.
Yeah. Once we sort of crest over to where the ruins are, Torsten is going to look for any big central buildings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you with a 19 survival, you managed to keep a good pace up these, but it takes you. You feel like it's barely any progress. These switchbacks are grueling.
Okay.
But you managed to keep a good pace with that survival check, and you're not going to take any exhaustion for it. But you managed to get up the mountain as it is moving towards evening. The sun is getting low. But there's still enough light right now as you enter into this space. And yeah, you're looking for large buildings. You see many buildings here, but what you see on the other side of these ruins is that they are on the edge, not of a volcano, but of a lake that is high up here. It seems that the caldera of this volcano has long been dormant and has just filled with water. You can see that there are piers that were built out. Some of them have collapsed over time. Piers are harder to maintain for long periods of time. But you can see that this was a place where they fished, where there was evidence that they were irrigating from this lake, fresh water. Fen, you're taking this all in. These buildings are of stone and mud construction. The volcanic nature of this place making an excellent concrete to build these places, but the roofs are all gone. It seems that they used maybe some, easily gatherable materials for roofing. Leaves, branches made thatched roofs, but those have long since collapsed and rotted away. Though there's still some evidence that they are there, they hang in such. But it looks like you're in a causeway. They're the center of this space. And you see at the other end of this kind of open area of this village, there is a pedestal and there is an obelisk overgrown in vines.
Oh. I don't want to alarm anyone, but obelisk?
Obelisk.
Yeah. It's...
Ben,
Um,
you see that in some of the doorways are inscribed draconic lettering, the initials of an old prayer. This place was built by Dragonborn.
Fenxiris is wildly making notes at this point.
Quick question, GM. Do we have previous in-game experience with obelisks?
Yes, the Wellsprings. You have met two of the Wellsprings. The Wellspring of Dreams and the Wellspring of Rot, both of which you found by touching obelisks.
Okay, thank you. You okay there, Fen?
This is what my brother was looking for. How did they get out here? Why were they... But my brethren were trying to find a new place outside of the mountains, and they wound up here. And I don't understand it, because this is... I don't know why they would have ended up on this island. Fen is, while she's just rambling, she's also looking at the names on the building, trying to see if she recognizes any family names.
Mm-hmm. You are looking around and you see that there are places where like a plate would have been placed with a family name. You're looking for belongings and things like that, but every room you're in is bare. Like things were taken away from here, like they packed up and left. And it wasn't in a hurry. There's no signs of destruction of the buildings. There's no calamity. Please give me an investigation check.
Oh. An extremely unnatural 20.
Okay. You can tell the trees that are planted around a place. All the trees here, the fruit-bearing trees that were cultivated to feed the people here, all seem to have a blight of some sort. Some of the low shrubs have small berries and things like that. There's still a small amount of edible food, but the larger fruit-bearing trees here that were cultivated to yield larger crops seem to have all died, withered.
Yeah, well, that would explain why they couldn't stay here. But why didn't they tell the dragon? I mean, they could have just been honest with her. Or maybe they were and she didn't tell us.
With a 20, you're looking around for any answers, any sign of them, and you see that there is of newer stone than the stone surrounding it, a carved plaque underneath on the like plinth that holds up the obelisk. Something is written across it, a large amount of writing. Definitely newer than the construction of the this plaza and the surrounding stone.
What language is it in? Do I recognize it?
You immediately recognize it as Draconic.
Okay. Huh.
Elric says, "This isn't the place I saw, though. This isn't the place that you came to me to ask about.
Right.
Maybe they're still at that place."
Maybe. Maybe they got here first.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any. Oh wow. Elric, you didn't see an obelisk in the civilization that you spotted.
No,
did you?
I didn't. I saw, not from where I was anyway. And it's also like I saw it and then it was hidden away from me again. Like the place I got to I wasn't supposed to find.
Oh. That sounds like very powerful magic. Elric, remind me, were you... I feel like you have some obelisk experience, though, right? Were you with us in the manor?
The manor? I think... Let me check something real quick.
So yeah, I can't recall. I feel like you might have been.
Yeah, let's see.
I think that
Elric
might have
was-
actually...
Elric was with you in the manor. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Yeah, that was just something terrible, I recall, but... they also seem to keep imbuing us with power. You weren't here for the last one, though. I do remember that. You didn't have to deal with... Ooh. Oh, that was a nasty slug. I'm sure grief regaled you with a tale, but
It was immediately before you and Sir Bones reunited with us.
Right. So you found a second obelisk.
yeah, thus explaining this, and I show Elric the lovely bracelet that the anklet that I'm wearing.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. This is okay. And every time you've come across one of these obelisks, they've given you something. They gave gift. The Wellspring of Dreams gave gift a weapon.
Yeah, and Death Slug really respected what Grief did. I don't remember what Grief. Do you remember what you got from?
Is that how I got my? Is that how I got wound? The great axe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that whole situation. Yeah, but that's how I got this baby. And I pulled up wound.
Yeah, I saw that you were using that. Is there a reason you haven't cleaned it?
I mean, we've been a little busy. It's clean enough.
And also, you would know from spending time with it, clean is not a state that this thing can be in.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
A rotworm would not give you a clean weapon.
Yeah, that's fair. That's super fair. Is that the worm that swallowed me?
Yep.
It's one of the worms that swallowed
One of
you,
the-
yes.
I was
Okay.
gonna say.
There's a theme in this show, and I don't know
Oh
why.
god, there's a list.
But yeah, that had to get swallowed by a worm for this. It's a very effective weapon.
So, on the one hand, I feel like we're supposed to be here. I don't know if any of you believe in fate, but I think we gotta go to the obelisk. And
What are the chances that we would be here where they were? It's too weird to be coincidence.
yeah.
I'm
And I
pretty sure
wonder if I have to wonder if some of the blight has to do with the obelisk.
that's a first suspicion. As Torsten kneels down to try and brush any dust off of the plaque to see what it reads.
Okay. And can you read Draconic?
I can.
Okay. You immediately clock it. It is modern Draconic. At least as close to modern as you're going to get. And at the top, in a boldened carving, the first line says, "We are the shard, and our hopes are not shattered." It reads like a mantra in the lettering that's chosen for the first line. And then it begins, "Once we stood on mountain tops, but we sought our own peace on the waves and in the lowlands and the lands beyond our ancestral roots. We began no larger than a clutch, and we grew and thrived in this place. When disease and blight followed us here, we asked the protector of this place for help. Aziria, she told some of us to leave this island, to seek new resources, and to gather or conquer in order for us to survive. We built a vessel and sent our greatest warriors. When they failed to return in 3 moons, we begged Azaria for aid, which she denied. Thus, we sought the aid of Oira, the wellspring of storms. She has promised us a new home, with her brother who shines as the sun. We will leave this place with our collective horde, and it is our hope that we find our final haven."
I think cinematically, Torsten was like reading that aloud as he translated. Well, at least we know who is living here, but not where that disease came from.
Okay. Well, the wellspring of storms. Y'all ready for it to get windy up in here?
Torsten nods.
Are we? We haven't long rested in a while. Are we okay to go into
I'm fine.
something?
Yeah. Unless y'all took damage or something from the shipwreck portion of this.
I'm only down 1 rage. That's it. So
Okay.
I apparently took 3 damage. I think I hit like the railing at some point during the
did.
crash.
You did.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm good then.
But that's about it.
Yeah, I'm fine on hit points. Actually, I think I'm okay on spell slots. Yeah, I'm all good.
All right, Elric, you good to go?
As I'll ever be. And he has his like mace and shield on. He's kind of stretching his shoulders.
Yep. All right, wound drawn, and we'll follow your lead, Fen.
Okay. Never know how to start these conversations, so... Hi, Oira. I'm, Fen. Good to meet you. And Fen reaches out and touches the obelisk.
You reach out and you touch this obelisk. Your hand makes contact with dead stone.
Oh.
You don't feel the resonance. You hear a voice from the woods, from the forest behind this sacred altar. You see 2 green glowing eyes. And she says, "It was a young dragon when they left. I thought they were part of my horde, and I was proud of my servants. They lived in this place where many others failed, They saw me as a source of comfort and counsel, and she begins to, in full draconic glory, breach from behind the tree line, from behind the shadows. She stands above, her feet on the plinth of this obelisk, but her head rising above it. When I found out Uyra took them away from me, I raged. I caused the seas to roil and brewed gales and hurricanes. I called out her name for days before she deigned to answer me. I demanded she return my people to me, but she insisted they were never mine, and that my avarice would be the end of me. I couldn't believe such blatant disregard for my right as a dragon. So I vowed to destroy her. We battled for months. I couldn't keep up with her. So I retreated to my lair and I plotted. I am a dragon, imbued with the heart of an elemental. So I decided I must eat her whole and absorb her powers entirely, and so I did. But that comes with consequences. Her role to magic was vital, and the very essence of magic bound to me in this, by this gross miscalculation. I am Aziria, the wellspring of storms. And lightning begins to crackle at her mouth. And I know we are so early, but I think we should end this session here.
Oh boy.
Oof.
As when we come back, we will begin an initiative. Thank you, everyone who has joined us. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do our outros. We'll start with you, Levi. Let's start with Silver. Sorry.
Fine. Hi, everybody. I am Silver_Bulette here on Twitch as well as over on YouTube. And I have a couple of podcasts I'd love for you to come out and listen to. All the Webs of Stage has kicked off into a new gear. We are currently putting out 5 episodes of The Ghost of Gil Manor, which follows the tale of a ghost and how he became to be that way, as led by a lovely tour guide. So we've Scene 1 and Scene 2 are currently out right now. Also, Capes and Caverns is the other podcast you can listen to, in which I take my players through a world that is both D&D but also superheroes as they battle. Currently, they're battling a bunch of mephits. If you know what that is, you know it's not a great time when all of your players are melee range. But at any rate, that's where we're at right now. But that's me. Thanks.
Excellent, Levi.
Hello, I am Levi. You can find me at likethejeans.bluesky.social, levi-fifths.ish.io. I'm currently playtesting a superhero game of my own, Tales from the Cape City. It is a Carford Bridle system and is inspired by Batman Cape Crusader and other North Street level superheroics. There's been some really interesting stuff in the playtesting process, and I hope to get the Ashcan out relatively eventually.
Hey everyone, I am Siliqui or Jaden. You can find me everywhere online as FatSapphicBro. I didn't type out my new outro for the new schedule we have, but it's all in the announcements. You know how to find it. So thanks for hanging out with us.
And And I'm Archangelic. You can find me here at all the time Soliloquy said in the announcements. Also, the schedule is in our link tree. You can find many links for me on my website, archangelic.space. I am also doing professional GMing on startplaying.games. If you're interested in having me GM a game for you, you can book me at startplaying.games/GM/archangelic. If you've missed any of our games, you can check them out on YouTube. The link is in our channel description and it is in our link tree. We also have a podcast version of this game. You can search up Era of the Dragons or Lantern Light Adventures wherever you find podcasts. We are going to be going into our Patreon supported after show. So you can find those at patreon.com/lanternlightadventures. The after show will always be free, but your support would mean the world to us. Thank you to our wonderful players. And thank you for our audience for joining us. And lastly, thank you to Polygeist for helping us stream this show. We all appreciate you and we couldn't do it without you. So with that, as always, we love you. We hope to see you next time. Good night, everybody.